Hey, good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. I got the hand sanitizer going. I'm too stubborn. I guess that's what it is, folks. I'm too stubborn to say I don't feel well because I'm just too stubborn to say that. I don't know. I think I'm fine, but I'm putting the hand sanitizer, making sure, you know what I mean? Just say it, folks. Just say it. I'm your host, BKP. What's that say? Cleveland, Georgia, State Route 75 between Cleveland and Helen. Look at the bottom of the screen. Cleveland and Helen remained closed. Okay, folks, this is an example of what are some of the changes we are making here at FYN TV. This live, if you have news, right there it is. That's going to run live all during FYNTV.com's morning broadcast. So if a road is closed, if something happened at a meeting the night before, we're going to start having meeting notices, so you'll be able to see, hey, Blue Ridge City Council's tonight, Dahlonega Board of Education, Dawson Board of Education, whatever. We're going to have it rolling there all morning. How do you like that? Send me a message, 706-889-9700 or chief@fetchernews.com, or follow us on Twitter @FetcherNews, @FYNTV. Good morning from the office. So send me a message there, email us or whatever. Tell us what you think of our new live scrolling ticker that we can start giving you information every morning on. Thanks, Sam, thanks for working that out. Sam's been working that out for a couple days to get the live information on the bottom. So that is something I think is great. Now, look, if you're usually with us, let me see how I put this. If you stay all 2 hours, I almost guarantee somehow, some way, I'll offend you in some form or fashion. That's just the way it is. If you're here for all 2 hours, you don't want to leave, because if you leave before I offend you, then you wonder, hey, wonder what it was that would offend me. So you want to stick around for all 2 hours. I'm sorry, it's just one of those days, folks. So we have put together a couple warning signs, a couple things that Sam will be using from time to time to let you know that possibly, let's see, let's go through them. What we have, what's the first one? Let's see, yes. If Sam feels that I'm a little offensive, she can get the green light and put this up. Hey, let you know, this topic may be offensive. She might flash it from time to time. What's one of the other ones we have? Censored. Yes, obviously within 2 hours, if I was on one of the credible networks, oh hell, the credible, all right, ABC, NBC, the credible networks. Now, they will censor you on, I would be censored on most of those networks. But if I just did not say a couple words, or, say radical Islamic terrorist or something like that, they would let me on there, but you can lie for 2 hours. There's no censoring on lying. Anyhow, just saying. So every once in a while, we might have to let you know that some things should be censored. What else we got there, Sam? Listen. Danger. Proceed with caution. I'm just going to let you know. Sam might say, hey, this one's getting a lot. Danger, Will Robinson. You don't understand that? You're too young if you don't understand danger. Danger, proceed with caution. You may see that from time to time. What else we're working on here? Now, that's offensive. So what are you going to just use that from time to time when you just think, oh, I'm going to throw it up. That sounded offensive. And then you and I will probably get in an argument, because that'll be how it is. I like that one, Sam. What else you got going on? Oh, wait a minute. I can't, let's see, what's that say? You think I'm offensive? That's adorable. All right, I like that. When you like that one, Sam? Yes. Okay, what else we have? These are all the warnings, folks. This one is my favorite, okay? This one's my favorite, okay? Stupid people. Stupid people are everywhere. That one I see that we're going to wear that one out. They're everywhere. Okay, what else we got? How many more of these do we have? Yeah, right or wrong. It's either right or wrong, folks. Either it's right or wrong. There you go. I like that one, right or wrong. Anything else? Quantitative easing. Yes, that one's going to be an important one. Do you know what quantitative easing is? We'll get into that. We're going to use that from time to time because in the Donald Trump administration here, you're going to see the feds start to tighten up and play a little bit with the money supply. Now, when Barack Obama was in office, I mean, they just opened the windows, and if you were sweeping outside on the sidewalk, you'd run into money. They were printing it so fast. I mean, there's something bad wrong. Let's stay on quantitative easing just for a second. I like to challenge you just to think about a couple things. You'll have a president of the United States that's there for 8 years. He leaves office. He never exceeds over 3% GDP, okay? Never exceeds it, okay? He would have a 2.8, and then the next quarter they'd adjust it down to a 2.1. He'd have a 2.4, and they'd adjust it down to a 1.5. Just a disastrous growth. Now, how do you have 8 years of under, okay? How do you have 8 years of under 3% GDP, okay? Basically, very little of any growth in this country. Then sit and listen to business reports saying that we're basically at full employment in this country. How the hell does that work when we haven't grown to the levels we need to have or sustain full employment? How does that work? How do you not grow at a rate that will allow the auto industry to have record years? Within the last 8 years, the auto industries have reported record sales. How do you do that with no growth? Okay? How do you continue to act like the economy for the last 8 years was doing so well when there was no growth? Really anemic growth. All economists agree. How do you have under 3%? I know I asked that 5 damn times, but I'm going to do it again. How do you have under 3% growth and have the stock market blow up and the financial stocks go through the roof? Now, since Trump has come into office, financial stocks have reeled back a little bit. But how do you have financial stocks go through the roof? Stock market goes, how do you have that? The Fed's printing money so fast, quantitative easing, okay? Just that's going to be in the future. Every time I see that, that just ticks me off when I see that. So anyhow, what we have anything else, Sam?
No.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. I will let you know. Well, I'm not trying to offend you, but the odds are high. So just stick around. All right, what do we have today? Trump basically says, let me paraphrase our President of the United States. Trump basically says, look, Obama screwed it up. I'll handle it. I got it. The guy screwed it up. I'll handle it. Yesterday, we did an outstanding, Sam and I, because Sam had all the pictures. She had everything ready to go. She made it all happen when I needed it. Other than the fact she didn't know who the hell William Jefferson Clinton was. Other than that, I'm like, so I don't know, right? Other than that, it rolled right off. We did a very good segment that you're going to be able to find on YouTube today, considering North Korea and talking about all those great 3 Democrat presidents. I call George W. Bush Democrat president. Globalists, that's what they all had in common. And 6 great Secretary of States. That gave us the mess we have today in North Korea. But you know what? Trump says, look, you guys messed it up. I'll handle it. You'll have to excuse me today. Now, is Trump the great peacemaker? Is he? See, I think so. And I'm going to explain. Now, all you hear on the media this morning, I'm blown away. They are cheering. They're having a party. I mean, I think they were drinking, okay? I found out why Mika Brzezinski's so damn smart, or at least she thinks she is. I found out why. Now, let's start early so you can maybe get over it. I'm not trying to offend women, but a glass of Merlot can give your brain a workout. Oh, hell, I meet these people that are working out all the time then. Drinking wine engages the organ more than any other human behavior. I've noticed that. I've been to some parties and I've noticed, oh hell, you're very smart tonight. What are you on, your fourth glass of wine? That's really got your brain going. Sorry if I bothered you with that. Anyhow, but the point is, that's why Majinka, I think Minka Brzezinski is drinking that wine so fast, okay, because that brain is working. This morning, on the media, all they want to talk about is Steve Bannon, the de-Bannonizing the White House. That's it. They are having a parade. They're having a party. They're cheering on, are they bringing down the Trump presidency one person at a time? That their plan is coming into place. Look, MSNBC did 35, 40 minutes this morning about we got rid of, basically, they didn't say this, but basically their thing is, we got rid of Bannon and Flynn from national security, all right? Now, their list of takedowns is Bill O'Reilly. We understand Bill O'Reilly's on the list of takedowns. So the deep state, as we say, in which most of you understand it, Bill O'Reilly has to go. So what do? They're talking about Bill O'Reilly. I'm just paraphrasing. I don't have the article up. Fox News and Bill O'Reilly have settled $13 million of lawsuits concerning allegedly sexual harassment. Okay? Just saying. That's what's important to them. They were having a party this morning. They're having a party. You heard 34% poll numbers, Donald Trump. You heard Bannon and Flynn gone from national security, okay? You heard Bill O'Reilly, we've almost taken him down. You've heard about the advertisers, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, okay? Has dropped Bill O'Reilly and the list goes on. That was the party they were having this morning. Your president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, has had a foreign policy week that we will go further into that is over the top. I know, I'm 12 minutes in and I have not said sarin gas. We will get to that in a minute. I promise. I promise, okay? Sarin gas and what happened in Syria. We'll get to that. But this week, your president of the United States, just this week alone, King Abdullah from Jordan. We have him. It's Trump and Abdullah or something like that, I think, okay? All right. I think it's Donald Trump and King of Jordan. Look for the word Jordan somewhere. There you go. Look, Sam, I'll tell you now. I brought the scorekeeper this morning. I'm calling balls and strikes. You need to understand, I feel this thing has to move along. So don't make me hit the clicker. Anyhow, there's King Abdullah from Jordan and Donald Trump at a press conference yesterday. We're going to play that video in a minute. All right? Big time. And I'm going to tell you what I think they're up to. Okay? All right? Now, I like to pontificate. Sam, you get a moment. Look that up. Don't give me a look like, what the hell did you just say? I mean, if you're in the room, I get this look like, what the hell did you just say? Look up pontificate. Anyhow, so he has King Abdullah from Jordan. Then, second of all, he has the, what's it say? You got it?
Yeah.
What's it say?
Express one's opinion in a way considered annoyingly pompous or dogmatic.
Well, hell, I like to do that from time to time. Now you won't give me such a look like, what the hell did you just say? I'm going to just pontificate from time to time. Hey, I love to do it. So I'm going to tell you what that means. Now, he has the ruler, whatever he is, dictator, president from Egypt. Just look for the word Egypt. I forget his name. Trump and the president from, all right, I forget his name, but we'll go over that. He's meeting with the president. Oh, no, wait a minute. That's the guy from Egypt and King Abdullah. I got a reason for that one. That's the King of Jordan, okay? I got a reason why I took the picture of those two. We'll talk about that in a minute. Find Trump and the guy from Egypt. Just President of Egypt, Donald Trump. There you go. That's the guy. Thumbs up. The guy's smiling from Egypt. Now, one of the reasons he's smiling is because we give him billions of dollars a year, and he's saying, hey, look, Whatever Donald says, okay, just keep sending the money, all right? Don't forget our address. We haven't changed our P.O. box. All right, so that's him right there. Okay, I'm going to give you the reasons. Now, let's go to, I can't pronounce these guys. I'll work on it. Let's go to the president of China. China. Trump, president of China. No, he's just president of China. There you go. All you got to do is hear something that sounds like ching chang or something, looking for those words. Okay, this is the president of China, okay? Nice guy, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to attack the guy. But this is the president of China. He's meeting in Mar-a-Lago with president, I think, this weekend, okay, from China. Now, there's a couple things. They're going to meet and greet. They're going to look around. They're going to talk. Trump is doing some things like you would not believe this week. He's laying the groundwork for what's about to happen. You remember not his first meeting, so don't take me to task. I'm going to tell you what I think the leader of China is doing here. It's a meet and greet. The media will say, they're just going to shake hands, get to know each other. He's going to say, hey, why are you talking bad about us on trade? And Trump's going to tell him why. And, hopefully they're going to do a little press conference and shake hands. Because God forbid, remember Angela Merkel? Oh, hell. The hell Trump went over because he didn't properly shake hands. I'm going somewhere with everything I'm telling you today. I'm going somewhere. Okay, so he's coming to town, right? Now, remember, not the very first meeting, so don't take me to task on this. But remember, Bibi, it's Israel. It says Bibi and President Trump. All right, this is the Prime Minister of Israel, okay? He's meeting with Trump. He meets with Trump before he meets with King Abdullah, and he meets with the prince over there in Saudi Arabia. I forget him. Trump met with Prince of Saudi Arabia. I don't have him up there this morning, so don't look for him. Prince of Saudi Arabia. He's met with King Abdullah. He's met with the president of Egypt, okay, or whatever he is. He met with Bibi first. Is Trump the great peacemaker? What? The only thing the media is letting you know this morning is that Steve Bannon got a change, that he's no longer on the National Security Advisors Committee there, that the meeting, he doesn't sit in on them. Okay. Oh my God, shake up at the White House. Steve Bannon threatened to quit. All right. That's what you're hearing this morning on the news. Not these great, because let me tell you something. Barack Hussein Obama left this country in a foreign policy mess. Now, there's something in common with so many of the meetings that Donald Trump is having. Major business leaders in the country, manufacturers, world leaders. Listen close, folks. Go back. You don't hear it every time, but this is a word that is describing Donald Trump. Now, the media says arrogant. The media says unapologetic. The media says, some of them call him, I just can't say that. It could be offensive. Put up offensive. Okay. You know what we need? We need it could be offensive. We need the bleeper so you can bleep me out from time to time. I'm afraid all the people in here would be beep, beep, beep. Anyhow, so they call Donald Trump a child. He can't focus. He's a third grade. I mean, you've heard it all, folks. All. But let me tell you the word that is most describes him. Business leaders, manufacturers, world leaders, people that meet Donald Trump come out of the meeting and all too many times say, the man has the courage to take this on. The man has the courage to look into this. The man has the courage to make bold moves. You never hear that from the media. You never hear how much courage Donald Trump has. But I can point to it time and time again, and so can you. How are we doing today? We doing okay? I mean, I can't tell. You good with everything? All right, just double checking. All right, so that's all they want to know. They want to talk about the takedown. Let me ask you a question before we go to break, because we're going to come back. We'll take a brief break, and then we're going to have Beth Bennett in here, tips, and then I'm going to have 9 o'clock. From 9 to 10, I'm going to break every bit of this down. We got video, we got pictures, we've got articles to look at. But my question is, was Susan Rice working for the Russians? You never know. Just saying. I mean, all this stuff about Trump and stuff, she was gathering stuff up. I tell you what, she had a Easter basket full of eggs, man. She was gathering so much stuff up. And on private citizens, I'm telling you, they gathered the information up. We need her. She may have committed a crime. President said it. Mike Pence said, hey, we got to get her on the stand. And guess who's back? Judge Andrew Napolitano. I know you don't have that one ready. I didn't put it on the list. But the judge is back. Judge Andrew Napolitano, back on Fox. They're asking him his opinion of this unmasking Susan Rice in her national security advisor role. Remember, they suspended him for an indefinite amount of time after he made his statement with his sources. You remember, I came on this show and I told you, you know what? Andrew Napolitano knew something. And he was not back. They did not reinstate him on Fox News until a whole team of lawyers went out to New Jersey, where he lives. Okay, I think it's Summit, New Jersey, where he lives. They went out there. They sat down in the living room. They had coffee, tea. You never know, you know. And they asked the judge, look, you got to talk to us. We got attorney-client privilege. You got to talk to us. Where are you coming from this? Because we got to make a decision, because the phone's ringing off the hook. Our viewers want to know where the hell's the judge, and they're not happy. Well, guess what? He's back on there. He cleared those hurdles with his comments that got him suspended, or he would not be back on the air. He's on there this morning. I don't know. You think Trump might have some, just a smidgen, right? You ever cook something and the last thing is they throw a smidgen. You're like, what the hell's a smidgen? All right, you think Trump just has a smidgen of evidence now? Could it be possible there's just a little bit? Let me tell you, on foreign policy, who could care less? Pay attention to this, folks. I'm asking you to pay attention to this. If you will notice, the disaster they report in our foreign policy, and the world, Mika Brzezinski, the world is shaking. They are so nervous. They're wondering what this man will do next. Trust me, it's not the Arab nations. Remember what the hell in the Arab Spring? You remember this damn Obama goes over to Egypt and he gives the Arabs, Cairo, he gives a speech and all hell breaks loose. Next thing you know, we got ISIS and the damn world's falling apart, right? Look, the Arab world wants that cleaned up. They're like, look what this guy did. He came over and made a mess. We need to put this thing back together. The Arab world loves him, loves the guy. I'm telling you, they do, whether you like it or not. Egypt, Saudi Arabia. I know you don't like Saudi Arabia and all that. We'll talk about it on a different day. Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Israel, Jordan. Watch and see. They like this guy, all right? Who does not like this guy? The European Union. Why? They're globalist. He is a threat to their global domination, the plan they have. Check out who doesn't like Trump. Who doesn't like Trump? The United Nations. These elitist European bankers. The World Monetary Fund, the IMF, the International Monetary Fund. These are the people that don't like Trump. Because he's a threat to these elite people in the EU, European Union. He's a threat to the UN. He's a threat to the World Monetary Fund. Okay? He's a threat to them. That's who does not like Trump. That's who is shaking, according to Mika. I'm going to take a break. It's 8:24. We're going to come back. Go do about 5 or 6 minutes, and then Beth Bennett's going to be on with tax tips. I'm your host, BKP. Let's see, let's just throw something up. Just give them an idea of what they could see, like censored or whatever. Just throw something. Put it up there before we go to censored. You can see that at any time. I'm your host, BKP. Take us a break.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices,
friendly service, and delicious Mexican cuisine.
patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Elgin.
Better days ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. We make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Okay, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. If you have just joined us, we have added to our programming a scroller for the bottom that will run during all of live. And this is an example of what you will start seeing there, that you will be able to read headlines, breaking news. If something's happening, if you're on your way to work and you see something happening that's a traffic problem, if you'll send it to us, 706-889, that is live. Sam can type that right as we get it. So if you're out there this morning, we want to help in any way we can get information out, breaking stories. You send that to chief@fetchernews.com, 706-889-9700. And we will get it live there if it's something we need to get up for traffic, whatever, breaking news on the spot. This is what we're starting to do here. So let me give you a couple things before our next guest gets in here at 8:45. I'm going to give you some things that we're going to go over, okay, in the hour. We're going to do everything I told you in the first 30 minutes of the show. we are going to break down and do a full hour and explain everything I said, okay? Let me just put this out real quick. Don Jr. talks about running for governor in New York. Wouldn't you love that? Donald Trump Jr. talks about running for governor in New York. I like everything about that, okay? Trump removed Stephen Bannon from National Security Council post. We will read that one later. We'll talk about that. Now, here's the one. Trump has been in office 75 days, 19 hours, 43 minutes, and 28 seconds. 29, 30, okay? He will have accomplished more at 100 days, and you will not know about it if you're watching the media, okay? They will go with 5 or 6 minutes or 4 or 5 minutes of negativity, the Muslim ban, as they call it, not being able to get his health care bill passed, which we haven't hit 100 days yet. That negotiation is taking place. Do not listen to the media. They will go through all of these things, trouble in getting his, which is not his fault, but trouble in getting his cabinet approved, so on and so forth. And then they'll throw in 1 or 2 positives and then back to 3 or 4 negative, especially if you're watching the CNN, ABC, CBS. Maybe Fox will do a little better. But 75 days. Now, I guess it's just me, but there's also, if you put a countdown clock, there are a dozen of countdown clocks that will let you know that he has 3 years, 9 months, 2 weeks, 1 day, 8 hours, 58 minutes, and 11 seconds left in office. That's what they want you to know, okay? And you and I did it too, so let's not act like we've never done anything like that before, okay? We did it also. We did the Obama countdown clock to get him out of here. Now, I apologize. That was really rude of me. I am trying everything to push this day along. What happened August 12th, 2012? What happened, let me back up. What happened August 21st of 2012, and what happened of August 21st of 2013? I will explain. Let me see. Let's do this one, and we're going to repeat it in a minute. Do you remember when the Democrats had their server exposed? And I'm going to repeat this in just a minute, okay? Do you remember when the Democrats had their server exposed? And Cheese Pizza Podesta, Hillary Clinton, all these emails started rolling out, all right? And we find out Donna Brazile cheated for Hillary Clinton and gave her the questions. When all of this happened, at no time did the Democrats come and say any admission to anything or any apology to the American people, any apology to their party, the people that are Bernie Sanders, found out it was rigged against Bernie? Nothing. The only thing is Russia hacked the DNC server. That's it. No acknowledgement of what we found out. How about that's the same way? Let's see if that's the same way before we go to our break, because I am going to, I think I have it here in a minute. All right, Adam Schiff. Remember, Adam Schiff, Devin Nunes, the chair of the House Intelligence Committee, goes to the White House. Okay, and they're breaking down the timeline, what time he pulled in the driveway, who shook his hand when he went in. They're doing everything they can to figure out something that Nunes may have done wrong. So Schiff comes out, and he is angry. He is the ranking member. He's a Democrat ranking member on the House Intelligence Committee. And he is furious that Nunes went and looked at this information by himself. And this is information that should have been brought straight to the committee. And everybody on the committee should have had an opportunity to see this. And this did not show anything other than Nunes's attempt to collude with the White House, all right? All the above, right? So Adam Schiff goes up Friday, and he sees everything that Devin Nunes sees. He goes up there, he looks at everything, all right? So we don't see him Friday. We don't see him Saturday. He doesn't release a statement. We don't see him on any of them. I mean, I'm not going to say he didn't release a statement, but we don't see him on any of the morning shows, right? On Sunday. But he releases this statement. And does this not parallel the way they handle things? Representative Adam Schiff, Democrat of California, the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee, released a statement tonight that criticized how the White House handled the documents were first shown to Devin Nunes, okay? After reviewing what he was told are the same documents that were shown to his colleagues, Schiff had been critical of Nunes for not sharing the intelligence with the full committee. So here is what Adam Schiff, he looked at everything Nunes said. Now you stop and think before we go to our next break and we get into our 9 o'clock hour. You stop and think really close, folks. Nunes comes out to the microphones, holds a press conference, and he says, what does he say? He says, you know what? This is very disturbing. This could vindicate Donald Trump. This is something the American people are going to want to know about. And we're going to have to share this with the American people. All right? Did Schiff come out and hold a press conference to say anything that he may have seen or what concerned him? No. His statement said, today my staff director and I reviewed the material at the White House. It was represented to me that these are precisely the same materials that were provided to the chairman over a week ago. While I cannot discuss the content of the documents in the White House, if the White House had any concern over these materials, they should have been shared with the full committee in the first place as part of our original oversight responsibilities. So what he's saying is, we should have got these, so we could have called Susan Rice, so we could have let Barack Obama, so we could have let all of the people that their fingerprints are all over it know ahead of time this was coming down, how to defend for it. Because let me tell you something. If Nunes, now get this straight, I'm going to tell you one more time after this. If Nunes would not have done what he done, then Rice would not have went on PBS and lied and said, I'm shocked by what Nunes has done. See, that was a catch off guard. See, if Rice would have had, if Nunes would have took Schiff with him, hey, Schiff, you want to ride to the White House? I got information, right? Or if he would have brought it back to the committee, then they would have sent it over. This is how they work. They would have sent it over to Obama and Valerie Jarrett and Susan Rice, and they would be all over there in their their White House that they have not left, and they'd have it on the conference room table, breaking it out, and they would be ready to answer. But Nunes, they catch him off guard. So we have seen the Susan Rice that is in deep now, all right? So they should have shared with the full committees in the first place as part of the oversight responsibilities. Nothing I could see today warranted a departure from the normal review procedures. He's not saying he didn't see anything bad. He's just saying nothing he's seen departed from the procedures to review it. And these materials should now be provided to full membership of both committees. The White House has yet to explain why senior White House staff apparently shared these materials with but one member of the entire committee, only for their content to be briefed back to the White House. No comment whatsoever about the documents he looked at. Does that remind you exactly the kind of statements they put out when the DNC got hacked? The kind of statements they put out when we found out Hillary had a server in their basement, in a bathroom somewhere. Don't you remember those? Listen, not one comment concerning the material that's in those. I'm telling you, I think they got them. I think they're crooks. I think they're criminals. And this is going to get interesting. I'm going to take a brief break. And when we come back on the other side of this commercial, we're going to do our tax tip segment. And then after that, from 9 to 10, we're going to break down everything we've been talking about this first 45 minutes. I'm your host, BKP. Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. Do you have that ticker?
Yes, hold on.
All right, that's okay. Good morning from the office. It's time for tax tips with H&R Block. Beth Bennett And we missed you last week, Beth.
I know, I'm sorry. I was hacking. You didn't want me on here. It was terrible.
Well, I'm doing it today. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna just hack through the next hour.
Or the next, till summer gets here, I think.
It takes so
this
the
fall is
pollen.
awful this year.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I sound terrible, but I'm good. Like you said, I sound bad, but I don't feel bad. So.
Okay. Now, in the break, we were talking. We have covered so many subjects here, and if you'll go to fetchyournews.com, okay. If you'll go to fetchyournews.com and go to our business section on any of the websites, go to our business section, go to news, go down to business. You will find all of the H&R Block tax tips that Beth and I have done every week here. If you want to go back and check some of the ones we've talked about. This week we're talking about travel expenses.
Travel expenses. Are you a Georgia resident? Are you a part-year resident? That's very confusing for a lot of people. Not sure what they can take, what they can't take. So thought we'd talk about that for today.
Okay, so you just put a whole lot out there. Are you a resident? Are you not a resident? How much percentage of time do you spend in the state? Whatever. So just start working with all those several factors.
So if your home is here, your house and your family and your driver's license, and this was new to us last year, we had this problem. North Carolina actually said someone was a resident there even though they didn't live there all year because that's where their voter ID was still registered. And they made them pay North Carolina tax. So if your home is here, your family is here, your driver's license and your voter registration is to Georgia. Georgia is your tax home. Now, if your job sends you away, if your job that you currently have now sends you to Indiana for 9 months, and it's a temporary job, less than 1 year, Georgia's still your tax home.
Right.
And if you're traveling back and forth to that, say you're flying out every Monday morning and flying home every Friday night, that's tax deductible. Any of your cab, your parking fares, the travel back and forth, all your meals. If you're renting an apartment or a hotel, that's tax deductible. Your meals while you're away from home, that is tax deductible. However, if you take a job, say in North Dakota, as lots of people have over the last 5 to 7 years.
So you've dealt with a lot of these tax returns where they're in they work in North Dakota, but they're from here.
They live here.
Right.
And so that one's kind of tricky because a lot of people, their family stays here in Georgia, but they go work in North Dakota because, you know, the economy busted, there was no work here. North Dakota was paying great money to go work those oil lines, right? So a lot of people left their family here and they travel back and forth. Now that's not the same, and that's just regular commuting. You don't get to take any of those expenses. That's just like me and you driving back and forth. Now, it's a lot farther, I agree. However, you took a job up there.
So now, folks, this is some of the reasons why we discuss on every show that we do tax tips with Beth Bennett from H&R Block, that it is important to get to know your tax preparer and to have one. Because I don't like to say this is confusing, but it is. The tax law, the government, thank you, government, for creating all this creative tax law.
Creative. They get very creative. That's a very nice way to put it.
If you have your driver's license in Georgia and voter ID, your address, and your family's here, and you go to town only for a period of time, a year, and you've not taken a job somewhere, the job you have here sent you there.
Yes.
Then you're still a home base of Georgia taxpayer.
Correct.
But if you take a job in another state like North Dakota, but you still have a Georgia driver's license, you still have, so if that company, you take that job, that's different.
That's totally different. Two totally different scenarios. And in that instance, you would pay North Dakota tax.
So you have to file a North Dakota return?
Yes.
Along with a Georgia return?
Well, even if you're a non-resident and you work in those other states, like my husband does power lines.
Right.
And God love this weather, he's not been home all tax season. right? He travels here, there, and everywhere. Last year on our tax return, we had 5 states. Now we have to file each one of those states, and he paid taxes. They take taxes out of his paycheck when he's there for, usually when he goes on a storm, he's gone 5 to 10 days. Okay? And so, not that much. You file. For instance, Oklahoma, I get a $4 refund from Oklahoma. And they sent me a letter and they said, we can't send you that refund until you send us a copy of your W-2. So I'm sending them a copy of the W-2 because I want my $4, right? But for each state that he goes to, we get on our W-2, it's broken out, the income that he earned there. And then we have to file that state, we file as a non-resident of the state of Oklahoma, Arkansas, Alabama, all those states, wherever he might have traveled, because Georgia's our home. And then Georgia gives you a credit for paying taxes to other states as well. It's a nice thing about
Okay,
Georgia.
so is that equivalent to taking a job there?
No, because his job is here.
Then why is he not just paying, why is he getting a credit from Georgia and why is he not just paying Georgia tax?
They changed the law on that a couple of years ago. We used to not ever get anything like, I want to say 5 years ago did they change that? And that no matter where your home base was, because his home base is here, this is his job, it's his company, they take all their trucks.
So your home base is here, you still file the Georgia tax, but if you're working somewhere like these other states, you still have to file their tax, and you got a place there to say that Georgia's your home base.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, you're a resident of Georgia, you're a non-resident of the others. Or some people are part-year residents of states. The state stuff gets very complicated there.
Well, I'm glad you brought this subject up because we're actually in a tri-state area where there's people that live right here where we're broadcasting this morning that go to work in Tennessee.
Correct.
And go to work in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Let's use an example. Let's say you lived in the great Gilmer County and you traveled this morning to Murphy, North Carolina because you, I'm going to go with blackjack dealer because I like blackjack dealer.
Okay.
You always make friends with the blackjack dealer, okay? We'll just go in there, just saying, all right?
I'm just saying.
We had to have a job, all right? So you're a blackjack dealer in Murphy, North Carolina, and you live in Gilmer County. We work with that?
We can work with that.
Because you have to know that information when they come in. What's your occupation, where you work. Mm-hmm. They work there 5 days a week, 6 days a week. They have to do North Carolina tax. They took a job there?
Yeah. They will pay North Carolina tax on that because they earn their income there.
Do they have to pay Georgia tax?
They will pay some Georgia tax on that.
But they get a Georgia tax credit because of some money's out of state?
Yes, it's very tricky. And each state has their very own laws that might be completely different from the other one. So when we get into those, there's always a lot of research involved to make sure that we get every credit. Because, yes, Georgia will give you credit for paying taxes to another state. Okay, but maybe North Carolina doesn't. See what I'm saying?
Okay, so you have to know, you don't just have to know Georgia tax law. You have to research other states to make sure you maximize the credit for your customer who you're preparing a return for, because Georgia may not, North Carolina may not give the credit. Correct. Oklahoma may not. So you have to know those states and you have to research that tax law.
Yes.
And I will say around here, that's common.
It's very common. And we have a lot of people move here from all different states all the time, and they may still have income. Say, I retired from Florida. We're getting a lot of retirees from Florida move up here to the mountains. But yet they still have rental property, investment property in Florida. So they still technically have income they're earning in Florida, but they live here.
Well, I have a friend in Union County that, a friend, okay, one, at least in Union County, that for the Union County Union Panthers football team, her husband works in power lines like your husband. And when I go to the football game, sometimes he'd be there and sometimes not. When he wasn't, he was like, well, there was a storm in Long Island and he could be in New York because there's a storm. So every time they go to one of these states, you have to itemize the money they received while they were there.
Correct.
Wow. Now, I think what I'm trying to establish this morning for all of you out there is you need a tax preparer. That's what I mean, because that's not uncommon. And let's go into other travel expenses. Should you keep up, no matter the job you have, should you still keep up with all your mileage? Should you still keep up with your clothing? If you work in an office and you're a guy and you have to wear suits or you're nothing?
Suits don't count. The clothing has to be very specific to your job and can't be used as everyday use. So really pretty much, if you work like in a mechanic shop and you've got your uniform with your name.
Right.
Those are usually generally always taken off. Scrubs in the doctor's office.
Okay, so occupational stuff.
Because you require us to dress professional, no, I don't get to take my jacket.
So occupational jobs that require like a uniform, like if you work in a service business or something like that, and you have uniforms, and companies take that out of your pay, much a week.
Yes, if they take it out of your pay, then that is tax deductible, like a polo. A lot of them have the polos with your name on it. That is tax deductible.
Well, a lot of companies, if you have warehouse employees, Coca-Cola or whatever, you pay $7, maybe $7 a week for rotating. That you need to know about.
Yes, that is a tax deduction.
Scrubs, like in hospitals, stuff like that. In specialized shoes because of hospitals.
Yes, like my husband's required to wear steel-toed boots.
Right.
So he can take his steel-toed work boots.
Okay. What about travel? We got just a couple minutes.
So travel.
No matter who you are, we've talked about people that have jobs out of state.
Lots of people travel. I travel for my job.
Right.
A couple times a year I go to meetings, and this year it's Vegas. So while I go to Vegas again, my parking, my cab, my airfare.
You're going to Vegas.
It's convention.
Just saying.
While we're there, we'll have to be entertained, and that is also tax deductible. Crystal says we're going to see Britney Spears, but I'm really hoping we're not. She's just not the thing.
Really, Crystal?
I know, right?
Really?
I know,
Britney Spears.
Do I look like a Britney Spears fan? I don't, do I?
No, I'm with you on that.
I know. I do know some of the songs, though, because her and her girls like them, so I do know a few of them.
Yeah, I understand.
It wouldn't be a total bust. Anyway.
I wouldn't admit that, though. Just put that on your list. I don't admit that.
Okay, Brian says I do not admit I'm a Britney Spears listener.
No, yeah, you don't know. I know nothing.
So your entertainment, your meals, anything that you would do while you're out of town because of your job and away from home, then you can take that. If you travel like a truck driver, they can take showers. They go to the truck stops and pay, I don't know, $5, $7 to take a shower at a truck stop. Laundry while you're gone. Their entertainment can be as little as, hooking up to the TV. That a lot of the truck stops have where you can plug into their satellite or cable TV and watch TV in your vehicle while you sleep. Or, like I said, as big as a show in Vegas. Entertainment counts while you're out of town as well.
So what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas unless it's the government. You have to tell them, right?
Well, I don't know if the government, you don't have to tell the truth, so.
Okay.
I could say I don't know.
All right.
I could just say I don't know.
No, I like that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing at all. Beth, I appreciate it so much. Folks, what we do every week here on Tax Tips with Beth Bennett from H&R Block is we try to bring up subjects every week that identify why you should actually have a tax preparer. And there's so many things that are going on out there that you should have, my opinion, a tax preparer. And you should work with somebody you know, can trust, and will work with you, and you enjoy it. Where are your locations?
We have 71 River Street in downtown, 500 Highland Crossings up there by the Walmart, and 368 Craig Street between Pools Barbecue and the drugstore.
And you can call them at 706-635-5563. Did I get that?
You got it.
Okay, and you can call them because, hey, during tax season, they have office hours. But if you call them, they will work with you any way they can to help get your taxes prepared and filed on time. Did I say that correctly?
You got it.
You good with that?
We're there to help. We'll be there around the clock to help you.
And she's going to Vegas. And Crystal's going to a Britney Spears show. All the things you learn. I'm your host, BKP. Take us a break. When we come back, now at the bottom here, leave that scroller when we come back. I'm going to explain that. We'll be back after these messages. Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Let's record this hour. Now, what we started with this morning, we showed you our news information scrolling there, and we're trying to adjust it. Do you think it's too fast? I don't know. I'm not at home trying to read it. But look at here where it says Pickens County, okay? Today's Board of Commissioners workshop canceled. That's simple. We got a call during the last commercial. We got a call during the last commercial. We put that in live while it was moving, and there it is. So today's Pickens County Board of Commissioners workshop is canceled. That's what we could do there. We can keep you updated on things. We can get information out and give you some lines off a top story if it's breaking news. So don't hesitate. Chief@FetcherNews.com. Show them there, Sam. Chief@FetcherNews.com is our email. 706-889-9700. And follow us on Twitter @FetcherNews, @FYNTV. So, all right. Now, Oscar at 821 sent me. Do you know Colonel Oscar Poole? Colonel Oscar Poole sent me a message at 8:21, said we didn't have audio. But you haven't gotten a message from anybody else, right? I haven't either.
We got audio on the screen.
I'm with you. So I just want to double check and make sure. I don't have any messages from anybody else saying we don't. Just checking. Hey, folks, when it comes to Colonel Oscar Poole down there in Florida, if you know the Colonel, him and Edna, okay. All right, we must have audio because I got a message. We must have audio because 8:21 somebody realized stupid people. Let me read this right fast. This is a message we got.
We have audio over here.
Yeah. Well, you know, Oscar's what, 82, 84, 87. We love the Colonel. He'll be back soon. Very day the Colonel gets in town. You know, so him and they're sitting on the front porch. He might have a problem on the iPad. So, speaking of stupid people, this is the message I get. Can someone tell me why the party that used to call Reagan an old demented, imbecile, okay, for calling the Soviet Union the evil empire, and that told us that the Soviets were in fact good, as now riding through the streets on horseback screaming, the Russians are coming. All right, I like that one. I like that. How is it that Congressman Adam Schiff, who until recently was in front of the TV camera telling us that no evidence about the surveillance on Trump, has now seen the national security report, most likely logbooks, showing just which Democrat operatives had national intelligence reports shown to them and now went dark. Very curious indeed. I love that too. I mean, seriously, right? They went dark. Okay. Now, folks, let me do this. I've told you every day what I want to do is I want to work on this show to remind you, okay, and of what Donald Trump has inherited as President of the United States. He's inherited a disaster. Now, we remember the Arab Spring. Now, we're not going to get too deep into, okay, we're not going to get too deep into the Syrian gas attack, okay? But let's play the one video of Obama. Let's play this video here because I want you to see the difference in the two responses and how both of them come across sincere. This is President Barack Obama. Hold on, don't go yet. Don't go yet. This is President Barack Obama on August 21st, 2012. So let's play that and let me hear it, Sam.
I have, at this point, not ordered military engagement in the situation, but the point that you made about chemical and biological weapons is critical. That's an issue that doesn't just concern Syria, it concerns our close allies in the region, including Israel. It concerns us. We cannot have a situation where chemical or biological weapons are falling into the hands of the wrong people. We have been very clear to the Assad regime, but also to other players on the ground that a red line for us is we start seeing a whole bunch of chemical weapons moving around or being utilized. That would change my calculus. That would change my equation.
It's somehow under, it's safe.
In a situation this this volatile, I wouldn't say that I am absolutely confident. What I'm saying is we're monitoring that situation very carefully. We have put together a range of contingency plans. We have communicated in no uncertain terms with every player in the region that that's a red line for us and that there would be enormous consequences if we start seeing movement on the chemical weapons front or the use of chemical weapons. That would change my calculations significantly.
Okay, folks. Now, I know what you're going to say. We have seen the red line in the sand video before. We know that Barack Obama has put out a red line in the sand. We know what happened, okay? Now, before we move along here, just a second. I have it somewhere. Just a minute. Stay with me. I hope I didn't delete it. I must have deleted it. Maybe I deleted it. I don't know. So let me see if I did. Oh, here it is. So that is August of 2012. Allegations of deadly gas attack test. Obama's red line in Syria. This is August 21st, a year later. Precisely a year later from what you just seen. Okay? A year after President Obama warned the Syrian regime that using chemical weapons would cross a red line, Syrian activists are accusing Assad. Put up Assad's picture. Do you have his picture? Assad, President Assad, Bashar Assad, I think his name, Syrian president, forces of killing hundreds in gas attack in what would be the worst and deadliest chemical attack to date. Okay, so we know reports of this gas attack of Syrian gas yesterday is still being gone through. I would not, my recommendation, we don't have time within the hour, I would not look to the answer of what happened in Syria in our U.S. media. I would not. I would suggest to start reading foreign accounts of what happened to come closer to getting the truth of what happened yesterday. Here's all I'm pointing out. This is a mess. Red line in the sand. Now, there's a couple things Obama said that day in that press conference. This is also a problem for our allies, including Israel, our close allies. Folks, I showed you at the beginning of the pictures, okay? Now, he wanted to consider, let me tell you what that gas attack, why Donald Trump is being successful. Let's put up the pictures of King of Jordan with Donald Trump, okay? These are the close allies. Okay, that's yesterday. King Abdullah, he's the king of Jordan. He was with Donald Trump. Let's put up the president or whatever his name is from Egypt. Okay? These are our close allies. And let's put up Bibi Netanyahu, Israel. There's Bibi. Okay? That's who he's talking about. They are so happy to see Barack Obama gone. These people are so happy. Now, yesterday, the day before yesterday, I guess there was an attack. Make sure I got my date right. Now, let's go to the one video that I told you I would tell you. It's like 20-some long. The King Abdullah press conference. All right? Go to 7 minutes and 42 seconds and play it there. All I want you to do in this video is pay attention to Barack Obama's video and how he seemed to have felt about the seriousness and what he would do. And watch your President of the United States yesterday in this press conference. 7:42, Sam, let it play.
President, you've condemned the chemical attacks in Syria, but you also appeared in your statement yesterday to pin some of the blame on the Obama administration. You're the president now. Do you feel like you bear responsibility for responding to the chemical attacks? And does the chemical attack cross a red line for you?
Well, I think the Obama administration had a great opportunity to solve this crisis a long time ago when he said the red line in the sand. And when he didn't cross that line after making the threat, I think that set us back a long ways, not only in Syria, but in many other parts of the world, because it was a blank threat. I think it was something that was not one of our better days as a country. So I do feel that, Julie. I feel it very strongly.
to the chemical attack?
I now have responsibility, and I will have that responsibility and carry it very proudly. I will tell you that. It is now my responsibility. It was a great opportunity missed. As you know, I'll be meeting with the president of China very soon in Florida, and that's another responsibility we have, and that's called the country of North Korea. We have a big problem. We have somebody that is not doing the right thing, and that's going to be my responsibility. But I'll tell you, that responsibility could have been made a lot easier if it was handled years ago.
Before I move on to the king, can I just quickly ask you if the chemical attack crosses a red line for you?
It crossed a lot of lines for me. When you kill innocent children, innocent babies, little babies, with a chemical gas that is so lethal, people were shocked to hear what gas it was. That crosses many, many lines, beyond the red line, many, many lines. Thank you very much.
And Your Majesty, if I could ask about refugees, your
Okay, folks, many, many lines. Now, there's a couple things here. Obviously, this gas attack took place, and he's responding to a gas attack where Barack Obama could have prevented a gas attack. You understand? Many lines. It crossed many lines, not just a red line. Now, something I'm very proud of, and I have to say, in all due, in the support of the President of the United States, I'm very proud of the man coming to the podium and saying, I now have the responsibility. It's my responsibility, okay? What we have to do on this show, and we will do, and what the President of the United States, okay, he doesn't need to play the blame game like Obama did for 8 years. For 8 years, Obama never took the responsibility. In just how many days?
75.
Did I ask you? Oh, okay, Sam thinks I asked her. That's it. Strike one for you. In just 75 days, okay, the President of the United States has come and told the American people, I take responsibility. I took the oath. It's mine. Not once. Now, somebody will find a video where Obama uses the word responsibility and take, maybe push it together. I don't know. In 8 years, Obama blamed George W. Bush. Obama blamed Republicans. Obama blamed every day till the day he left. Now, the last couple months during the transition, Obama bragged about his accomplishments that we're still trying to figure out which ones they really are. In 75 days, the President of the United States has took up to that podium, and he said, I take responsibility. I have China this week. Obama left. You can take this on your own. I only have 2 hours a day. Actually, you know, I could do this 3-4 hours. We could extend the show. What's the holdup here? Why do I always say I only got 2 hours a day? Well, today I only have 2 hours. I have to be somewhere. So, the point is, Obama let the Chinese build a military base in the South China Sea. A military base. You remember when they started building it right? They built their own island. We had surveillance, spy surveillance. Oh, it was going to be a getaway for the rich Chinese. It was going to be a tropical island. Next thing you know, we got these runway strips. Next thing you know, we got airplane hangars. And it's not exactly, airplane hangars for commercial flights. That's right. Absolutely. And then during Barack Obama's administration, if I get this wrong, just tell me. But during this administration, I think the Chinese floated what, their first aircraft carrier? I think so. Pretty sure. During Barack Obama, from the time Barack Obama put his hand up to the time Donald Trump, this happened. Not blaming. Stay with fact. The Obama administration never stayed with fact. So Bush is no better. I'm not any happier with George W. Bush But we have Clinton, Bush, Obama. 75 days. Folks, this week the man sitting down with China, hey, I'm responsible. Obama, you let him build a base out there, you let North Korea get away with it. Hey, I'll take the responsibility. I'm not responsible. Let me get that correct, the actual correction there. I'll take the responsibility. I'll take the responsibility of North Korea. I'll take it on. I'll take it on my shoulders. Proud to have it. I'll take it. It's got to be solved. 3 things this week are happening. Now, let me go back to that video. Same one, Sam. Let's work on that in just a minute. Let's listen to the opening, and I will tell you when to stop. This is the opening of President Donald Trump, and then we might fast forward a little bit to King Abdullah. Listen to the opening of his press conference.
Administration, and believe me, we're going to keep it that way. We will destroy ISIS, and we will protect civilization. We have no choice. We will protect civilization. King Abdullah and I also discussed measures to combat the evil and ideology that inspires ISIS and plagues our planet. In addition, we also acknowledge the vital role that Jordan has played in hosting refugees from the conflict in Syria. We have just announced that the United States will contribute additional funds to Jordan for humanitarian assistance. This aid will help countries like Jordan host refugees until it is safe for them to return home. The refugees want to return home. I know that from so many other instances. They want to return back to their home. And that's a goal of any responsible refugee policy. Finally, as we discussed, to advance the cause of peace in the Middle East, including peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians. And I'm working very, very hard on trying to finally create peace between the Palestinians and Israel. And I think we'll be successful. I hope to be successful, I can tell you that. The King has been a really tireless advocate for a solution. He's going to help me with that and help me at the highest level. And we will be consulting with him very closely in the days ahead. King Abdullah, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for your partnership. Working together, the United States and Jordan can help bring peace and stability to the Middle East and, in fact, the entire world, and we will do that. Thank you very, very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
That's where we're going to start. Okay. Now, that's King Abdullah and Donald Trump. I told you earlier, okay? All right. Trump is going to destroy ISIS. Now, he will not give his battle plan up. Everybody is mad. The media cannot stand. Remember, Obama said, on this day, we're going to leave Iraq. On this day, we're going to do this. On this day, we're going to draw troops down here. Okay? Basically, I'm being a little facetious here, but at the same time, the Obama administration basically sent the battle plans that we had around the world to the media to vet them so they could be on board. And Donald Trump tells you, it doesn't matter how many times you ask him a question, he's not going to tell you the battle plan. Now, let me play this. You just heard the opening, okay? And Donald Trump says, I will destroy ISIS. King Abdullah is 10 feet away. Now, you're going to get the impression real quick that King Abdullah is not disagreeing, okay? From Jordan. He's 10 feet away. I'm going to destroy ISIS. We are dedicated to peace in the Middle East, okay? Now, let's listen to the opening to King Abdullah from Jordan that the media is not playing. The media is only interested in Steve Bannon. Did he show up for work? They're only interested in Bill O'Reilly with a sexual harassment lawsuit that Fox had to settle for him. They're only interested in Michael Flynn, who they're taking down. They're having a party this morning. You have one of the biggest foreign policy weeks in the history of this country, and they're not following it the way they should. So let's go to King Abdullah and listen to his opening remarks, Sam.
Mr. President, thank you for such a kind and warm welcome to the White House. I fondly remember the meetings we've had many years ago and more recently several months ago. You've always been a generous host and have always looked after us. We are very delighted with the way the discussions have gone so far, and we're delighted to be here in such a wonderful setting and such a beautiful day, which I think is a tremendous mark of how we are going to move into the future. We've had a very good round of talks today, and I'm looking forward to continuing these discussions later on in our meetings after the press conference. What I do want to say is how much we deeply appreciate the close relations we have with the United States, with you, Mr. President, and with the American people. This is a strategic partnership that we call and keep very close to our hearts, and it is a partnership on so many levels that we will continue, I think, with the frank discussions that we had today to improve on as we face the challenges of the future. And I am very delighted for your vision, your holistic approach to all the challenges in our region, and to the dedication of your team in being able to translate your policy into actions successfully, hopefully, as we move forward. The challenges we face today are many and not exclusive to my region, as I've just mentioned. They are global, and particularly the threats to global security. Terrorism has no borders, no nationality, no religion, and therefore joint action with a holistic approach, as I had just mentioned, Mr. President, is crucial. I am very delighted that you have the vision to be able to move in that direction, and I think that the world will be in a very good place as we move with all these challenges ahead. No doubt, with all the challenges that we face in the world, the role of the U.S. is key to all the issues that we have around the world. But it's not just the fact that we should expect the United States to do all the heavy lifting. The heavy lifting has to be done by all of us in the international community to support the United States in being able to translate that vision into the right direction. So there's a lot of...
Okay, now let's break this down. I want to open with the end of that, of what King Abdullah said. You will not hear this on the mainstream media. The role of the United States is key, but they cannot do all the heavy lifting. We have to do our part in supporting the United States. Folks, the world is excited that we, the people, the United States of America, are prepared to lead again with a president, a leader like Donald Trump. That is what you hear over and over, how the world is enjoying, excited that we are prepared to lead again in the world with their support. Now, here's what I'm going to break down a little bit. Let's not gloss over the humanitarian, okay? Because, you know, Donald Trump is evil. He's made fun of people. Oh, the list goes on. We'd have to do a 2-hour show with what the media calls him, okay? But folks, I think geographically you could understand if you've traveled and you are ever been in the Connecticut area, New Jersey, Rhode Island, and these areas that I have been in. You know, you could cross from Connecticut to New Jersey in 45 minutes. All right, they are border states. Some of these states are so small. The Syrian refugees are pouring in. I think, you can test me here, I think Syrian refugees, people pouring into Jordan, are actually outnumbering the citizens of Jordan, I think, okay? They have a humanitarian crisis, this king on his hand, because we're concerned about them coming through our airports, and I understand. We're concerned about taking refugees in that are not vetted. I understand. But if you look at your border and there's thousands there, by the thousands. And you look at these children and so forth. Jordan, what are they to do? That's why Trump wants to do these safe zones. But keep in mind, Donald Trump pledged money directly, your money directly to humanitarian efforts to help take care of these people. So let's kind of take the President of the United States off the evil list that everybody tries to make him out to be. Okay? Now, let's remember something. All of the discussion with Russia, we all circle back to Russia. Remember, Russia did not, you could do this while we're on the next break. Russia did not go into Syria until after Barack Obama's red line statement. You understand? Barack Hussein Obama. Now the news is, what will Trump do? Do you get Assad out? Do you side up with the Russians? Who is responsible for the gas attack that killed these innocent people? How bad is Russia? How evil is Russia? Where are the media accounts on how evil Russia is, or how evil they are today, because they were yesterday and the day before, when Obama allowed them into Syria? He made a mess out of that place, letting Russia in there. We should have never let Russia into Syria. Folks, I'm your host. I'm going to come back, talk about peace talks. We'll talk about destroying ISIS when I return. I'm your host, BKP.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Ellijay.
Better days ahead.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, we're back and we're discussing the peacemaker, Donald Trump, that you're not hearing from the media, and the guy that's going to destroy ISIS, and the guy that's going to handle North Korea. And I'm going to wrap up today's show and tell you that. I promise we wrap this up. Okay? He's going to fix everything. Mattis is busy. That's all I'm going to tell you. General Mattis is busy. So let's look a little more at this press conference with King Abdullah of Jordan, and let's go to 1141.
On Julie's question, pressed you a little more on Syria. How will you distinguish your policy and your actions on Syria from the inaction that you criticized of the previous administration? You say it's now your responsibility. What should we see or what should we look for that will be different? And Your Majesty, I'd like to ask you, what gives you, this is now your second meeting with the President, what gives you the optimism that Mr. Trump will succeed in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict where so many others have failed before him to be a broker for peace?
I like to think of myself as a very flexible person. I don't have to have one specific way, and if the world changes, I go the same way. I don't change. Well, I do change, and I am flexible, and I'm proud of that flexibility. And I will tell you that attack on children yesterday had a big impact on me. Big impact. That was a horrible, horrible thing. And I've been watching it and seeing it, and it doesn't get any worse than that. And I have that flexibility, and it's very, very possible, and I will tell you it's already happened, that my attitude toward Syria and Assad has changed very much. And if you look back over the last few weeks, there were other attacks using gas. You're now talking about a whole different level. So, as you know, I would love to have never been in the Middle East. I would love to have never seen that whole big situation start. But once it started, we got out the wrong way, and ISIS formed in the vacuum, and lots of bad things happened. I will tell you, what happened yesterday is unacceptable to me.
Can I follow up, sir? Last year you seemed to be reluctant to get involved or to intervene in Syria directly. Is that one thing that's changed after yesterday?
Well, one of the things I think you've noticed about me is militarily, I don't like to say where I'm going and what I'm doing. And I watched past administrations say, we will attack at such and such a day, at such and such an hour. And you, being a warrior, you would say, why are they saying that? And I'm sure you sat back in Jordan and you said, why are they saying that? I watched Mosul, where the past administration was saying, we will be attacking in 4 months. And I said, why are they doing that? Then a month goes by and they say, we will be attacking in 3 months, and then 2 months, and then we will be attacking next week. And I'm saying, why are they doing that? And as you know, Mosul turned out to be a much harder fight than anyone thought. And a lot of people have been lost in that fight. I'm not saying I'm doing anything one way or the other, but I'm certainly not going to be telling you, as much as I respect you, John. Thank you.
Sir, I think on behalf of the President, what I saw was an early engagement by the President and his team with all of us in the region about the challenges between the Israelis and Palestinians. I had the honor of seeing the President and his team again in January, where this was discussed. The President understands the nuances and the challenges. I think he has the courage and the dedication to be able to do this. Like I said before, all of us have a responsibility to help the President push us over the finish line. And so his team has been in the region. They've been talking to all the partners. And it is our job to facilitate the atmospherics between the Israelis and Palestinians to move together and give the support to the President to be able to smooth the edges over between Israelis and Palestinians to achieve this. And the President understands that if we don't solve this problem, how are we going to win the global fight against terrorism, which is his #1 priority? So this is a core issue that he understands, and I think he has the commitment and he has my full support for this, as he does from many, many countries in our region.
And I have to just say that
Put me back.
the
Okay, I have made my point all morning long. Now we're going to wrap it up. Remember I started the show? What did I tell you when I started the show? Foreign leaders, business leaders, I want to say, you will not hear this, I do not think, anywhere else. When they come out on the front lawn and they do press conferences, Bibi Netanyahu, Prime Minister, when business leaders, the CEO of Ford, they go to the White House, when they come out, you have heard, this is how I'm wrapping up, you have heard the media try to put your president of the United States in this box of trying to describe him. It's nothing about it has been flattering. The media has not said a flattering word, anything positive where this president's concerned in identifying him. Joe Scarborough's called him stupid. Minka's called him childish. All this. But the world, the other morning, I'm watching MSNBC, and she says, oh my God, they're talking about his approval ratings are down to 34 or 35%. It has to have the world shaking. What is going to happen if we don't have a strong president at home? The world must be nervous. No. Listen to these press conferences. That's why I put these out. What is the word? Courage, determination, dedication. These people come out and say, this man has courage. You heard King Abdullah. Courage. Egyptian. I said yesterday, I watched the press conference with the Egyptian dictator, whatever he is over there. Courage. Watch that press conference. He said, courage, the dedication. I keep saying it because the media will not. Now, let me wrap this up. Bibi Netanyahu. Let's do it in chronological order. Okay, he comes over and he meets first. He'll put his picture up. Okay, so he meets with Donald Trump. Was this, a month ago? Donald Trump's only been there 75 days. All right, he meets with Donald Trump a couple months ago. He's early on, he comes in. So my prediction is he's sitting down and Trump says, what do you have to have behind closed doors? What do you have to have? Now, when I meet with Abdullah and Egypt and Saudi Arabia, which do not, they want to destroy ISIS, they want us to lead in the region, and they support an Israel, a state of Israel. Don't know so much about Saudi Arabia, but we'll stay there with it. Anyhow, so he goes to the first place, Israel. Second, he goes to the prince. I think the prince of Saudi Arabia, he met with him. I don't have his picture, okay? Then he's meeting with China, not China, sorry. He's meeting with the president of Egypt, dictator, whatever. You got his picture? Okay. What is his name? Freaking what's that guy's name? I can't say his name. You got it right, Sissine. You actually got that right. That's the way they pronounce it on those big fancy networks. So Sissine there, okay, he meets with him in Egypt. He's met with Netanyahu. He's met with the prince of Saudi Arabia. He's met with Egypt. Now put his picture up with King Abdullah. Okay? Everything's in place, folks. There's two things that Trump just did here. Trump went to Israel, Saudi Arabia. He's went to the people that counts. Okay? He didn't meet with Yasser Arafat. Do we remember Yasser Arafat? Let's see. Who legitimized him? Jimmy Carter? Right? He didn't go to the terrorist. I know what you just said. Saudi Arabia is responsible for more backing of terrorism than anywhere in the world. He didn't per se go to the terrorists themselves. He did not go to Hezbollah. Okay? Donald Trump has told them where he's going to stage planes, that when Mathis says that they're going to use Egypt, that is is that the Persian Peninsula there? Okay? Is that the peninsula there? Persian Peninsula? Egypt borders right next to the Persian Peninsula. Check that out for me. I mean, don't you know how much I love to be right? Why don't you help me? Egypt right next to I'm so sorry. She's like, if she had something to throw at me, I'd probably get it today. Anyhow, so Donald Trump is going to destroy ISIS. He's meeting with all the right people. Okay? Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Israel. Mathis, the game plan is being laid. This guy says, you have my full support. This man has the dedication. So Donald Trump is preparing to handle ISIS. He's preparing to handle Syria. And he's preparing to cut a deal. And he's not talking about Palestinian. He's looking to cut a deal to work out peace in Israel. And the other people can get on board, or they can see the power and the might of the United States. Was I right? I was right? Couldn't you say it a little louder? People can't hear.
You're right.
Thank you. The Persian Peninsula right there. Right there. So anyhow, that's getting ready to happen. You better be ready. Now, who's coming to town? The guy from China. The president from China is coming to town. Now, the media will tell you that the president of China, you see Rex Tillerson, all of the media, all of them, are on and on and on how Rex Tillerson, the Secretary of State, okay, will not be attending a major NATO meeting. Okay, that we're snubbing our first major NATO meeting. Well, right now, NATO meeting is not the issue at hand. Right now, as I jokingly said yesterday, are the guy with the man bun, the dreadlocks, and they're drinking a latte out there at a Starbucks in San Francisco or Seattle of the little whack job in North Korea lobbing a nuclear missile. Okay? Trump has priorities. Sadly enough, right now, NATO has to be just a little bit behind. He's got to get rid of ISIS. He's got to clear up things in Syria. He's got to handle North Korea. And he has to let China know that building that island out there was not okay. And that he has concerns. And they have to come to terms. Now, the media will lead you to believe. They want you to believe that Trump and this president from China are just going to shake hands, have some coffee, okay, and talk. It's going to be a first casual meeting. That's not Donald Trump's personality, folks. That's not the president's personality. All right? They will set up meetings. This will be your Ronald Reagan, Gorbachev relationship. Not Putin. Not Putin. Okay? This is my prediction, pontificating this morning. The president of China will be and Donald Trump will be the parallel of Gorbachev. Watch it say, my prediction, Gorbachev and Ronald Reagan. Because one of my favorite moments in history, and if you've watched this show, you may remember my favorite moment in history is when our beloved Ronald Reagan got up and left Mikhail Gorbachev sitting in Reykjavik and said, I'm going home. Later. You've heard the deal. You heard what I'm interested in. The world, the United States media froze. They froze in their tracks. Oh my God, what has this president done? Okay? So let me just forewarn you because I don't know. No pun intended with tea leaves, Chinese tea leaves. Well, let's look at the tea leaves a little bit. Okay? My prediction is that Donald Trump will not be totally received very well immediately by this president, but this president will leave going home with no other choice but to respect him. And maybe in Mandarin, is that what they speak? They don't speak Chinese, they speak Mandarin, right? Is that what it's called? I don't know, right? Maybe he will say, my meeting with President Trump, I understand he has courage. Watch and see. So don't fall for that. All right. He's going to go home. This president of China is going to go home. He's going to understand trade, not going to happen like it used to. We got to get some things worked out on the economy. We can be friends. We can work together. But some things are going to happen militarily. The things are going to calm down. And you're going to straighten out, okay? You're going to straighten out the North Koreans, because that's the only ones that really have power, because you have a choice. Remember, we have issued a statement that we no longer have anything to discuss on North Korea. North Korea has gone one step too far. And that's for the media that feels that they're going to shake hands this weekend. And that's all that's going to happen. They're sadly mistaken. Because Rex Tillerson, they have put out a statement. There's nothing else to discuss. That North Korea has crossed the line. And trust me, Donald Trump doesn't look at lines the same way Barack Hussein Obama did in Syria. Okay? You wouldn't have all those dead people in Syria if Barack Hussein Obama would have had a spine. So let me tell you, if you go through the press conferences and you go through the meetings, I doubt very seriously you'll find the word courage with the cowardly lion, Barack Obama. I don't think you will. He's going to go home. He's going to put a stop to North Korea. It's going to happen. I've only got a couple minutes left. Let me go remind you. Susan Rice. Let me go through this real quick, okay? Don't go anywhere yet. We've talked about this one. Okay, we talked about this one. Hang tight. Don't do anything, Sam. I hear you over there. We talked about how smart you get when you drink wine. We talked about that. What else did we do? Oh, the economy drums up 263,000 new jobs in March. Just saying. Just saying. Up higher than expected. Over 1 million jobs in just a couple months in this administration. Just saying. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Remind me tomorrow to talk about the economy. I mean the jobs. All right, we did that one. We did this story. What else I have? Abdullah welcomes Trump engagement in Israel-Palestinian talks. We did that one. Jordan King set to meet with Trump for the second time in Washington. We did that one. Trump, Egypt's leader, bond over the terror fight. The president of Egypt, Sissine or whatever, yeah, him and Donald Trump, they hit it off. Well, they want money too. They want money. Let's not forget, okay? We don't have time for that one. We don't have time for that one. We have this one here. We know it's how many days. Okay, hold on, folks. I'm going somewhere. I'm going to wrap this up. Trump removed Stephen Bannon from National Security Council post. Okay, that was important. That was important front page news. That's all they could talk about. But I'm telling you right now, you have had some of the greatest foreign policy meetings, and you have some of the biggest issues facing this country that the media is not talking about. So, Susan Rice, 6 minutes. Susan Rice, domestic spying is national security nightmare. This is from Town Hall's Mark Davis. Let's play her PBS real quick, just for a minute. I'll tell you when to stop it.
I began by asking about the allegations leveled today by House Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes that Trump transition officials, including the president, may have been swept up in surveillance of foreigners at the end of the Obama administration.
I know nothing about this. I was surprised to see reports from Chairman Nunes on that count today. I mean, so today, I really don't know to what Chairman Nunes was referring. But
well, I wanted to ask you about this because, as you also know, in the last few weeks, the New York Times has reported that in the final days of the Obama administration, individuals went out of their way to spread information throughout the government about what they knew about intelligence, that the Russians had interfered in the election last year, and that there may have been a connection with Trump campaign officials. So that story's now been out there for several weeks. Could there be a connection here?
I'm not aware of any connection. I had read the New York Times story. I must say, Judy, as one of the most senior White House officials and the most senior responsible for national security, I found that report a bit perplexing. I was not aware of any orders given to disseminate that kind of information.
Well, was there...
So I have no idea whether that was the case.
I wasn't aware of any order to unmask people. I don't know what Chairman Nunes is talking about. I was surprised to hear him come out and say all that. We know for a fact now that Susan Rice lied in that interview because she went on with Andrea Mitchell and told a different story. Even gave the examples of how she unmasked certain details on national security reports. We know that. We'll work on that tomorrow. Susan Rice, domestic spying is a national security nightmare. I don't have time to go through it. With what a fitting cherry atop the Barack Obama legacy of eroding American safety, it turns out his national security advisor was rifling through countless conversations that just happened to involve private citizens like you and I in the quest to block Donald Trump's path to the presidency. Folks, I have said it for how many, if I've been doing this show for 2 years, it's time for people to go to jail. I'm serious. It's time. You know what? If Hillary would ever go to jail, can you do me a favor, put me on the guest list? Because I wouldn't visit you, Hillary. I just want to look, see you're there. See how you look in orange. And Susan Rice, and Uma Abedin, and the Wiener. Well, we know Andrew Weiner. I should have said that first, right? I'm your host, BKP. We will be back tomorrow morning. It is now time. Don't forget our ticker there. Don't forget. Right there on the show, we were able to tell you, hey, a meeting was canceled. What meetings are coming up? What's happening? 706-889-9700, chief@fetchernews.com. Follow us on Twitter. Send me messages. That's a 24-hour hotline. You never know. I might be up at 3 a.m. and answer the thing. Katy Sissine Show right now. Stay tuned. Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Hello, welcome back to the Katy Sissine Show, addressing the indoctrination of the nation. It's Thursday, one more day till Friday. You're almost there. Congratulations. Keep chugging, and then you'll be able to chug a beer tomorrow. Just kidding. But in all seriousness, today we are addressing the Open Society Foundations, the organization by George Soros. He is CEO and chairman of the organization. If you don't know, George Soros has a net worth of $25 billion. That is Austin Powers' Dr. Evil money right there. That is some serious dough. Just to give you an idea, our president, that does not accept the salary, the presidential salary. He is worth $5 billion. So Soros has that trumped, has President Trump trumped by, I don't know, times 5. If we, consider worth by net worth. Now, we're talking about the interview of George Soros in 1998 on his book, The Crisis of Global Capitalism, Open Society Endangered. Now, I just want to redeem myself, although it's too late for yesterday. This is Redemption Day. And for some reason, the name escaped me of the book that inspired this show. If you haven't already heard from me from the beginning of this show, when I first announced what inspired the show, it was the book, The Closing of the American Mind. And it inspired the slogan of this show because the subtitle is how the system, basically the subtitle is how the system of higher education has rendered students' souls desolate and flat. And how the system of higher education has actually cheated democracy by rendering students' souls desolate and flat. So because we do not understand democracy as students, and I say this loosely, loosely, because some people do study democracy and some people do not, but basically the lack of education in higher education, the lack thereof, is rendering students beliefless, I guess, without beliefs. It is rendering their souls desolate and flat. Because higher education has been teaching students to be politically correct for so long that students can't decide for themselves what is and what is not correct. They have no sacred text to base their thoughts upon, such as the Bible. They have nothing to reference them to. They know that they feel, and they know that they feel certain things are right and certain things are wrong, but they don't know why, because they do not reference them to any kind of sacred text. And people are, kind of in this lost era where they just don't know themselves and they feel out of touch and they feel like there must be something more to this life because they're not really biblically faithful, they're not really religiously faithful anymore. I know a lot of us are, but a lot of people out there aren't. A lot of us aren't. So and that's because they've been told it's not politically correct and that it's not good, and that what's good is to not have any set beliefs is to be completely open to anything and everything and just let things happen and just be. Well, that's all great, you know, and that sounds wonderful, and peace and love and happiness, and I'm all for, you know, peacefulness and good things and positivity. But at the same time, I know that life isn't just butterflies and rainbows. I've lived long enough to know that there's more to life than that, and there actually is competition, and there actually is greed, and there actually is a human element in each and every human being. Another theory I want to point out about religion, for those of you who are not religious, I don't seek to push it upon you, but I do want to ask you, and bring to your, or more so bring to your attention something, is that, you know, humans, we are thirsty, and when we're born, we need milk because there's milk for us, and we need food, we need nourishment because there's nourishment here for us. We need water because water is here for us. It's something that is a part of our being, and it's something that we will need to survive, that we will crave, and that we will have in order to survive. We will need it. And now the same thing goes for religion. So you're hungry, therefore there is nourishment here for you, and because you crave food. Now you crave also a belief in something higher than yourself, a belief in something greater than yourself. And why do you crave that? You ask yourself. Well, your answer, because it's here for you, because that higher power does exist, and if you feel it and you want it, it's yours for the taking. So basically, if you do not believe, it's a lose-lose, because if there's a chance that, you know, that higher power is out there, you're basically just saying, you know what, I don't need you. And if it's not, well, then I guess you get your nothingness that you signed up for in the first place. But, you know, if you want to be positive and, you know, say peace, love, and happiness, then you should probably believe in some kind of religion or some kind of system of higher power. Because I know that we all think about it. And the reason that we think about it is because it does exist. And that's the way I see it. So I hope I could at least change one person's mind out there, because I know that helps me get through my days. And anyway, moving on, we talked about some, you know, boring economics. And I'm sorry if you like economics. I'm not a big fan of math. I do like economics better than traditional algebra, even geometry, because there's a lot more theory in it, and it ties into politics. I liked international political economy. That was very interesting because we talked policy. It wasn't as much math as it was logic. So, you know, that was the appeal for me. And we talked about a lot of the economic theories of Soros, inspired by Karl Popper, invented by Karl Popper, reflexivity, and someone denying the invisible hand, the natural equilibrium. So that was interesting, even though I'm not a big fan of math. And yes, remember to check out The Closing of the American Mind. And moving on, in addition to George Soros's book, or before George Soros's book, Karl Popper was the author of a very famous book, The Open Society and Its Enemies. He's also the author of The Poverty of Historicism, but we're going to go over The Open Society and Its Enemies. If anything, you know, that's what we've been going over, is The Open Society and Its Enemies, that George Soros bases his theories off of in his foundation. So anyway, that's just a little tidbit for you, and there's the photograph for you to check out if you would like to Google the book or purchase it on Audible. That's how I like to listen to my books. I definitely recommend that. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to go into a video on the Open Society Foundation on George Soros, and I believe we may have time for all of it. If not, we'll cut it short and continue after the break. So let's check it out.
Trying to improve the world is more difficult than making money. You can only measure it if you have a strategy. I set up a foundation to promote this idea of an open society. Opening up closed societies, making open societies function better, and foster a critical mode of thinking.
Combining informed reasoning with an informed understanding of what is needed in the world to change the lives of people. George Soros is a spectacular example of that combination.
He's very suspicious of conventional wisdom. So he's a person who likes to argue. He likes to take the counterfactual position. He likes to take the counterintuitive position. He actually thinks for himself, and he's always self-critical.
I know that I don't know all the answers. Whatever frame I create is bound to be biased or incomplete or distorted. The important thing is to be aware and to try to minimize the damage.
He's a giant. He walks very small, careful steps. So people don't hear him going boom, boom, boom. And actually, I think he's quite shy.
That intellectual power that he brings, he sees things from a very broad, systemic perspective. That's very unusual.
People tend to feel that these problems are so huge. Leave it to the governments, leave it to others. But George never has that attitude. George always feels he can make a difference, an individual can make a difference, and doesn't hesitate to try.
As long as there are people like George Soros who make it possible for people out there who have a vision of positive change to try to create that positive change, we're heading in the right direction.
Well, welcome back to the Katy Sissine Show, Open Arms in an Open Society. So what we're going to do right now is check out the location of offices of the Open Society Foundations on their webpage. Okay, as we can see, well, the main office, the headquarters is in New York, New York. There's also a core office in Budapest. As we know, Hungary is the home of George Soros, and in Belgium, in the UK, and also in DC, of course. And if we scroll down, we see locations in Africa, Angola, Congo, Kenya, Senegal. Scroll down to Asia Pacific, we've got Indonesia, Mongolia, Eurasia, Kazakhstan, etc. Europe, Albania, Armenia, Hungary, Kosovo, Serbia, Turkey, Ukraine, Spain. So some countries selectively, more so on the eastern side of Europe than the western side. In Latin America and the Caribbean, we have Haiti. In the Middle East, we have Afghanistan, Tunisia, etc. In the U.S., as we've gone over, DC, New York, our core offices, and we also have locations. There's also locations in Baltimore, and I guess, Washington. No, that's also, it must be also be DC. So Baltimore, New York, and Washington, DC. All right. So pretty much all over the world, he's established these Open Society foundations pushing for the Open Society. Now, he specifies on his website that he also wants people to make the transition from communism. But according to the UN, almost every nation in the world is democratic, so that's very confusing. Anyway, we've got to cut for a break from the show, but we'll be right back with you after these brief commercials, so stay tuned in. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter at KatyFYNTV, and also email me at katy@fetchernews.com. I also want to thank you, and remember, we'll be right back.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. And no matter what vehicle you drive, our new state-of-the-art service center can keep you running like new with factory-trained technicians, genuine parts, and value pricing. Even convenient Saturday service hours and online appointments. So if you want to extend the life of your vehicle, let the Days service experts help. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we service whatever you drive.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey in Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Ellijay.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Hello, welcome back to the Katy Sissine Show, addressing the indoctrination of the American nation. I'm your host, Katy Sissine, as always. So, we just watched a video on the Open Society Foundations featuring Mr. George Soros, and with many special guests. We also went to the OpenSocietyFoundations.org and looked over all the various locations throughout the world, strategically located in nearly every continent. So, very interesting stuff. We've got Open Society Foundations, what's a good word, popping up, sprouting all over the globe like daisies. So interesting stuff. And as far as we know about Open Society Foundations, we don't really know exactly what they're doing, because George Soros says they're trying to get people out of communism and help the transition out of communism. Well, of course, these transitions out of communism have already begun and are done for many countries, supposedly, because most of the countries in the world are supposedly democracies, but in reality, they are not actually democracies. So I do see where he's coming from, in the sense that many democracies are still under the authority of authoritarian regimes, especially the more impoverished we go on the list of advanced developed countries to developing to, etc., down the totem pole. We don't call them first, second, or third world anymore. That's done. That's out the window. That's technically obsolete. But we do call them advanced and developing, etc. So we classify them on their rate of development, basically. Now, reviewing the video of the Open Society Foundation on George Soros, he had many special guests, and I've got some quotes. His first quote said that trying to improve the world is more difficult than making money. Yes, we know, Mr. George Soros, that you know how to make money. because you've bought back economies for pennies on the dollar through their stock markets. So hence, you know, your net worth is $25 billion. So, okay, he comes in with a bang and declares how rich he is. And then he goes on to say, I set up a foundation to promote this idea of an open society, which he didn't define in his 1998 interview. He said that an open society defines itself. Very cavalier. He's very slick. He's like, you know, the 80-year-old Hungarian-American James Bond. Featured speakers in the video, we had Amartya Sen. Amartya Sen is a Harvard professor, Nobel Prize winner of economics. And Sen said, to change the lives of people, George Soros is a spectacular example. Careful choice of words. He said, to change the lives of people. In what way, we do not know. But Sen said that, you know, Soros knows how to change lives. We don't know if it's for the better or the worse, but he knows. And then we had Leon Botstein. President Leon Botstein. Sorry, I'll say that again. President of Bard College and also on the Open Society Global Board. So he's in George Soros's circle of trust, so to speak. I'm referencing Meet the Parents with Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro, the Robert De Niro circle of trust. So he is in George Soros's circle of trust. Botstein said that Mr. Soros is very suspicious of conventional wisdom. He also said that Soros likes to argue and oftentimes takes the counter position. Well, obviously, because he believes in critical rationalism like Karl Popper. So what Botstein just described was Soros's adherence to critical rationalism and to falsifiability, aka the problem of demarcation, the problem of social constructs. He just acknowledged that belief system of Soros. Now, if you don't research Soros, you don't have any idea what Botstein's talking about. You just say, oh, so Soros likes to doubt a lot and he's suspicious of conventional wisdom. Yes, to the utmost, to the highest degree possible, he is suspicious. To the degree where he believes essentially that culture should be dissolved. So if you don't know about Soros, this all goes right over your head. And this is just like any other friendly video. And then we get none other than, dun, 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 let's show the picture of the very popular musician in his hippie prime. We've got him coming up for you. Yes, there we go. Mr. Bono himself, artist and activist, was in the video, and he said that Mr. Soros is a giant, referring to his greatness and, of course, his, you know, intangible greatness that cannot be seen but only be felt by the many lives that he improves and makes more open-minded, I suppose, and takes away from tradition and culture. So Bono is an artist and activist, also known philanthropist. He has been heavily criticized for his ties with political power. Even on TheGuardian.com, there's an article that was published way back September 21st, 2013 by Tim Adams. The title is Bono, and it's a quote. And Bono says, "There's a difference between cozying up to power and being close to power." On the subtitle, it says Bono interviewed during a trip to West Africa. Campaigner and YouTube frontman Bono talks about what drives his activism and responds frankly to criticism of aid to Africa, his relationship with politicians, and his group's controversial tax arrangements, ... So there's been a lot of talk about Bono having close ties to politicians and what's up with that, and does that tie into his taxes? I don't know. If he's friends with Soros, he shouldn't have any money problems. Moving on, Joseph Stiglitz was in the video. As a student in political sciences, you know, Stiglitz is a familiar name and a friendly face. Professor of Columbia University, Nobel Prize winner of economics as well as Amartya Sen, the Harvard professor we mentioned first. Stiglitz said that Soros sees things from a very broad, systemic perspective that's very unusual. So we had Stiglitz tell us in the video that Soros's beliefs are unusual. And that's what makes Stiglitz a friendly face, because he just said something very honest there. Soros is an unusual person. He's got unusual beliefs. Okay? I mean, this is like super far-fetched stuff, people. And we are starting to think it's normalized. Not me. I'm speaking for other people, but half of the U.S. is, seeing Soros and his beliefs as totally normal, and they will want to submit to his ways, and they already do want to submit to his beliefs and his ways. Then we had Kofi Annan. Kofi Annan, sorry, it's Kofiannan, the former UN Secretary General. So we know that this is someone who's probably going to be very aligned with Soros's beliefs. And if he's not, he's going to act like he is for his reputation, because he was with the United Nations, the biggest international institution, the biggest liberal institution in the entire world. He described how, George always feels that an individual can make a difference. And he just, basically describes that George Soros wants to make a difference in every individual's life, and he's a caring person, et cetera, et cetera. So it was very general. And then Mabel Von Orange, I guess, I don't know how we say her last name. She's the chair of Girls Not Brides. She was the last woman in the video, the blonde. She's also on the Open Society Global Board and the Soros Circle of Trust. She said that we're heading in the right direction with George Soros and what he's doing. So I guess we'll see about that. And now moving on to the Open Society Foundation and current issues. There is a newly released interview and article. It's a video from @Open Society, which is a video series by the Open Society Foundations, and it talks about drugs. Let's check it out.
One of the things we've done is that we have disproportionately in science focused on the negative effects, the pathological effects related to drugs. These things are so dangerous, these things are so addictive that we must wage a war to get them out of our society. And those assumptions are just false. The biggest myth related to drugs is that most of the people who use them are addicted or become addicted relatively easily. And that's just simply not true. Only about 10 to 20% of the people who use these drugs become addicted. We bring people into the laboratory, people who are addicts, and we have shown that if you give people attractive alternatives to drug-taking behavior, so offer them something like money versus drug, you can get them to shift away from taking drugs and to take money if the amount of money is high enough. It shows that their behavior isn't driven solely by the drug, as the public has been misled to believe. Rather than providing drug-related information, what we do is provide drug-related hysteria, and we frighten the population rather than educate the population. And the folks who paid the price the most are poor people, poor racial minorities. But whenever you have losers, you also have winners. The prison systems, they are winners. Law enforcement, they are winners. Even at some level, scientists, because it's kind of easy to say that, hey, we're solving this awful problem, we need increased budgets to deal with this. If we were going to really educate people about heroin, let's say, 70% or more die because they combine that drug with a sedative like alcohol or benzodiazepine. The public health message that should be blasted is don't combine heroin with another sedative, if we were really concerned. That's not to say that people should go out and use illicit drugs. It's to say that we need to be honest, completely honest about what drugs do and what drugs don't do. And when it comes to drugs, the evidence is overwhelming that we are going about this the wrong way.
Now, I just showed you a propaganda video. I don't know if you knew that, if you knew what I was doing, but I just showed you some left Soros propaganda. And did you know that you were being brainwashed while you were watching that video? Did your brain register that you were being brainwashed? Because you were. And it's done so well that you can't even notice it. Now, tomorrow on the Katy Sissine show, we'll get to talking about how that was Soros left propaganda, that video from the Open Society Foundation. Now, remember to stay tuned in with the Katy Sissine Show for all the information on the indoctrination of the nation. You can follow me at Twitter at KatyFYNTV and email me at Katy@FetcherNews.com. I hope you have a blessed day, and please tune in for the show tomorrow.